So just bring yourself into a comfortable seat, whatever that means to you. And if you need to go grab a few things to help you with your practice or anything for support, go grab that now. And we will begin. I'm just going to wait for 2 people just to get set up. Okay. So while we're waiting, just bring yourself into a comfortable seat. Get yourself all adjusted. Sit up nice and tall. Allow yourself to maybe wiggle a little bit until you feel somewhat content wherever you are, in whatever position you're in. And then you can go ahead and close your eyes. So welcome everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to this yoga flow practice. This practice today, we're going to be working again on the idea of transformation and change, but through different perspectives. So we're going to be bringing ourselves into different shapes and the same shape, but in a different way. Okay, so you'll see what I mean exactly by that as we do it. Okay. So to begin with, let's just begin to bring awareness towards well, first of all, in the space that you're in. And then acknowledge the way that you're seated or whatever position that you find yourself in. And do a little scan, do a little check-in. I'm just noticing how you're feeling today. Or as one of my teachers says, being observant of the weather report. So the weather report in you today. And you know that's always changing. So just notice what's going on with yourself today. As different situations come up, we do different things. We change, we reflect. Let's do our choices. So just notice what there is to notice. So anything in the body, anything in the mind, anything in the head itself, just noticing different things. This first part of the exercise of bringing awareness, this is a repetitive thing, but it's something that so it can be very healing and it can be very comfortable in the knowing. So as we practice every week, we do the same thing at the very beginning every week. And so it's not unexpected. So it's a little bit of comfort there. It's not so much of a change. This is something that you're used to. And hopefully it's getting a little bit easier just to go inside and do that little check-in. Maybe from week to week, you notice different things, new things, maybe. Maybe you notice the same things, but then you notice some things that have changed. And then once you've done a little body scan, you've gone up into the head, you've noticed your feelings, your thoughts, your emotions. And then you can become a little bit more inquisitive on the breath and wondering what's going on with your breath today. Every time we bring awareness to the breath is different. How is it for you today? At this moment, right now, without trying to control it or stimulate it or do anything to it. Just watch it come in and out of the body, noticing what it's doing, how fast it is, how slow it is, how deep it is, how shallow it is. If you're breathing in through one nostril more than the other, the length, anything else that you notice. So as we move through each of our poses today, notice how that breath might change. And even though we might be doing the same sort of shape with our bodies, how it might change with our different perspective in the pose itself. When we take ourselves to in a different way. Okay, let's take a couple more breaths here. Let's feel yourself filling up your body, emptying your body out with your breath. Not trying to struggle or react. Just allow that breath to move in and out of the body. Okay, so while we're sitting because we're sitting and some of you are lying down, we are going to go into lying down on our backs. So lie down on your backs and bring yourself into Tadasana on your back. So as if you were standing on the ground, your legs are lengthened down, your feet are flexed. Envision that there is something underneath your feet. Okay, so this is Tadasana on your back. Your arms are reaching down by your hips. Your feet are flexed, the toes are pointing somewhat upwards towards the ceiling. And there's going to be an engagement as if you were standing on something with the soles of your feet. There's a firmness and an engagement in your legs, and feeling that engagement moving right up from your feet into the legs, into your hips, into your core, moving all the way up. And just feeling like you can grow just a little bit taller on your back. I'm feeling really strong here. Maybe even feel yourself lengthening through your spine a little bit as you grow yourself a little bit taller, from the crown of your head reaching upwards, and then from your soles of your feet reaching downwards. And maybe envision yourself as if you were standing up on your feet. So notice how it feels to do Tadasana in this way. Noticing what parts of your body are touching and maybe using your imagination for the rest of it. Notice your breath. Notice the engagement in your body. This is not a relaxing pose. Remember, we're mountains here. Mountains that might just be fallen down. But we're very, very strong. So just shifting yourself into a different perspective here. And noticing as much as you can. Okay, so let's take a few more breaths here. And keep noticing. Okay. And then relax and then just roll yourself over and you're gonna stand up. Slowly, 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 because we don't want to get any rushes or buzzes or anything like that. So very, very slowly, and then you're going to stand up in Tadasana. Okay, now standing up in Tadasana. So just like when we were lying down, firm down and ground down through those feet. Lengthen up through the legs, engage those legs, engage your spine, and feel your spine lengthening all the way up through the crown of your head. Shoulders are soft, the arms are reaching down, growing a little bit taller here. Noticing your breath. And maybe just take a moment just to compare how you feel in this pose on your feet compared to when we were down on our backs. Are there any differences? Do you notice anything different? Anything different in your body, in your sensations, in the way that you overall feel, your emotions, your breath? Absolutely anything. Maybe even your perspective. Because now you're looking up maybe towards a wall or maybe out a window, and we were down on the ground and we were looking up at the ceiling. A little bit different viewpoint. So be aware of that. Okay, let's take another breath in. This time we're going to sigh it out, mouth through the mouth. On the next inhalation, bring your arms all the way up above your head, growing a little bit taller. And then we're going to exhale and we're going to forward fold. Reach down towards the toes. Come up halfway. Lengthen through your whole spine. Forward bend again. Bending into the knees. And then bring yourself all the way back up. Reaching up as tall as you can. And then we're going to do it again. Exhale, open up the arms, forward bend. Reaching down towards the toes. Halfway lift. Forward bend. And bring yourself all the way back up again. Taking your time. One more time. Open up the arms, forward bend. Hinge at the hips. Halfway lift. Forward bend, and bring ourselves all the way back up. Reach up, bring your hands towards your heart, down by your sides. Coming back into that Tadasana again, just again notice. Notice if anything's changed. Breathe in, breathe out. Okay, inhale the arms all the way back up. Reaching up, grow a little taller. Exhale, forward fold. Touch your toes. Halfway lift. We're going to stay here in our halfway lift. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Create some lots of space right there. Our hands are just on our thighs. Okay, bending into the knees, feeling really, really solid here. And from here, we're going to do some cows and some cats. So open up the chest, drop the belly, open up the throat into our cow. Exhale, round out the back into the cat. Making any adjustments here that you need to make. We're going to do that a few more times. Inhale and exhale our cow and our cat. Tilting the pelvis. Back and forth. Cow, exhale, cat, last one. One more cow. Exhale, cat. And drop the hands all the way down towards the toes. Release here. Then bend the knees and bring ourselves all the way up. Reaching up, back up again. And then exhale, forward fold. All the way down. This time as we come down, we're going to come into a table. Come into a table or your version of a table. And feel ourselves in that table. So let's have the toes directly behind the heels. Wrists are underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips. Feel yourself in this table. So spread out those shoulder blades away from the spine. Push up through the shoulder blades. So you're nice and level in the shoulders and nice and level in the hips. Notice this position. Feel the hands connecting with the ground, the shins and the feet connecting with the ground. Okay, and then from here, we're going to do some cows and cats. So drop the belly, inhale cow, and exhale cat. And so notice how cow and cat is in this version, and then maybe notice how it was in the other version when we were standing up. Maybe you know, find something different, find something the same. So inhale cow, exhale cat. Inhale cow, exhale cat, and one more time. Inhale cow, exhale cat. And then bring those hips down towards the heels and come into a child's pose, or your version of a child's pose. So find your child's pose. Take a few breaths here, and just notice as much as you can. Notice what you notice. Take a few breaths, breathe through your backs. Okay, I'm going to do one more. So come back up into a table, or your version of a table. Okay, and then we're going to reach that right leg back. Take that right leg, reach it back, and then lift it up. So notice the form that you are in right now, this pose that you're in right now. Notice how it feels. Notice the shape. Okay, and then take that left arm and reach it up. So this is bird dog. So find your bird dog. Shoulders are level, hips are level. Notice how it feels, the shape that you're in. Take one more breath here. And then bring the hand down, bring the knee down. Take a moment here. We'll do the other side. Take the left leg, reaches out, and it comes up. Keep your hips level. Find your breath here. Notice what there is to notice. Then bring your right arm out. Bird dog on this side. Hips are level, shoulders are level. Just doing what you can here. And if none of this is accessible or just bits and pieces are accessible, just do what you can. Just notice the shape that you're in. Because we're going to try to replicate this, turning it around, a little bit different perspective. Okay, bring that hand down, bring the leg down. And then go back into a child's pose. Stretch it out, reach it out. Okay, and then we're going to come back and we're going to go onto our backs this time. Onto the backs this time. And we're going to do pretty much the same thing, but on our backs. So, we're on our backs. Knees are bent. And we're going to do child's pose on our back. We're going to start off with that. So, knees in towards the chest. Okay, so this is our child's pose. It's actually called something else when it's on our backs. It's called wind release pose when we're on our backs, but it's the same pose as child's pose. So hold yourself here. Maybe this time your hands are on your shins, or maybe your arms are out above your head. And your shins are just, your thighs are just coming towards your chest. So hold yourself here and just notice. Does this feel the same as when you're in child's pose on your tummy and on your shins? How does it feel different? What is your perspective? Do you notice that it's the same shape? How do you feel? What do you notice? What's going on with your breath? How is your breath in child's pose, and now how is it here? Okay, let's take one more breath here. And then we're going to bring ourselves into an upside down table. So what needs to happen? Okay, so maybe the knees bent and your shins come up, and then your hands, your wrists are right underneath your, or right above, I should say, above your shoulders. So now we're in a table. How does that feel? It's the same shape, but it feels so different. Do you notice that? See if you can keep your hips and your shoulders level like we do in a regular table. This is a totally different perspective. It's upside down. We're looking up at the sky, or up at the ceiling, not down at the ground. What's going on with your breath? That's something we're not used to doing. How do you feel? Where do you feel the tension? What do you notice? Okay, from here, we're going to go into a bird dog. So let's extend one of the legs. So let's do the right leg first. So the right leg is going to come down onto the ground. And then we're going to lift it up. So as if we're lifting it up, just as if we were doing bird dog. And then the left arm is going to reach out. I have to really think about this for a moment. And so finding your shape here, how does it feel? What's happening? And again, if you need to change things around just like we do on the other side. When we're flipped over. What is working here? I think I can feel my core a lot more on this side than I can when I'm in a table position. Okay, let's bring ourselves back to our reverse table on our backs. Take a moment here. And then let's do the other side. So the left leg now is going to come down. And we're going to lift it up. My goodness, this is good brain work too. And then take the right arm and reach it out and back. So it's out and above our heads. Okay, does this feel like the same position? Bird dog on this side. My goodness, this is a lot of core work here. Breathe. What's going on in your body? What's going on in your mind? What's going on with your breath? Take one more breath here. Then bring yourself into that upside down table. Take a moment. And then back to that child's pose. So maybe you're holding on to your shins or your thighs, or maybe your arms are out in front of you again. Just hold yourself here and notice. How did everything feel? Okay, let's take one more breath here. And then we're going to stretch ourselves out back into that Tadasana on our backs. So stretching out the legs, stretching out the arms, and bringing your feet back into as if you were standing on the ground. So you're really engaging all the muscles in your body, feeling your spine lengthening right through your neck, pushing away with your feet, and then bringing your head as if there's a string, and that string is pulling the crown of your head away from your feet. Feeling really, really engaged here, noticing your breath again. And maybe you notice again, maybe this Tadasana this time feels a little bit different. What do you notice? Let's take one more breath here. And relax. Just take a moment just to relax. So not Tadasana anymore, just totally relaxed, just to give ourselves a little bit of a break, have things needing to be maybe regrouped or whatever comes up. Okay, then we're gonna roll ourselves over again, and we're gonna bring ourselves back up into a table. So let's start with child's pose again on our regular child's pose. So coming into a child's pose, doing anything that is necessary to get yourself into somewhat of this position. Okay, so child's pose. Just notice how it feels in this position compared to the one on your back. What do you notice? Notice anything? Okay, and then we'll bring ourselves up into a table. Find your table. Whatever table is working for you. So if you're using a chair or the wall, go back to that and just notice. Does it feel the same or does it feel different? Does it feel easier this time? Okay, let's try that bird dog now. Let's take the right leg and reach it back. And then bring the foot up, and then the left arm reaches out. Notice how it feels now compared to when we were on our backs doing this. What do you notice? Let's take one more breath, and then bring the leg and the foot down. Take a moment again in the table. And then take that left leg, reach it back. Lift it up, keep those hips level. Bird dog on this side, right arm comes up. Right by your ear. And again, just notice. What do you find on this side of the body? How is your breath? How does it maybe compare to when we were on our backs? Take a moment here. One more breath. And then bring that leg down, bring the arm down, back to a table, and then your version of a child's pose. Come into your child's pose, hold it there. Notice what you notice. Okay, and then you're going to walk your hands back and come into your feet and then push yourselves all the way back up into Tadasana. So coming into your Tadasana now. As I said, it's a lot of up and down. Different way of looking at things, a different perspective. Okay, so remember back to when we were on our backs in Tadasana, looking up at that ceiling, and now you're looking either out in the window or towards the wall, rooting down through those feet, reaching the arms down, rooting down, and then lifting up through the crown of the head, through the spine. What do you notice? Different perspective. How's your breath? What do you feel? Okay, on your next breath, bring the arms all the way above your head. Reach, and then exhale, forward fold. All the way down, reach down towards your toes. Halfway lift. Forward fold, and bring yourself all the way back up. Reach up. I'm going to do that one more time. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold, and bring ourselves all the way back up, right back into Tadasana. And then again, hold it here. Breathe. Okay, so you're gonna bring your hands towards your heart. Shift the weight into your right foot, and then just balance on your left foot, balance on your right foot for a moment. The left foot's just gonna come up. Just a little tiny bit, your toe can touch. Notice how that feels, and then you're gonna take that left foot and reach it back, and bring it into a 45-degree angle so that you're in warrior one. So you might have to adjust your feet a little bit. Your right knee is right over top of that right ankle, and then bring your arms up. Notice how it feels here. Root down through both feet. Your body's right in the middle. Breathe. Notice the shape that your body's in. We're going to do the same shape, but on the ground. Not yet, but soon. So notice the shape. Notice the way that you're holding yourself. Notice your breath. What muscles are engaged? How do you feel in this pose? As in, what kind of characteristics? Like, what do you feel? Do you feel strong? Do you feel powerful? Do you feel ready to go? And anything else that seems to come up. Okay, let's take one more breath here. Then bring your hands towards your heart. Root down through that right foot. Pick up the back foot and see if you can allow it to hover just for a moment, standing up nice and tall. And then place that foot right back down beside the right foot and hold it there. Then inhale the arms all the way back up again. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Bend into the knees to bring yourself all the way back up again. Reach up as high as you can. Hands towards your heart. Shift the weight this time in through your left foot. Take your right foot up and just let it hover. And again, of course, using any support that you feel that you need. I'm just going to allow you, I'm just going to assume that everybody knows that now, just to use whatever support you need. Okay, and then you're going to take that right leg and you're going to reach it right back, 45-degree angle on the foot, bend into that left knee, and bring yourself into your warrior pose, warrior one pose on this side. Body's right in between the feet. Feet are pushing right down equally, equal weight, and then bring those arms up. Okay, so again, notice how the body is in this position. Notice how it feels on this side, the shape that you're in, and how that feels with your breath. How do you feel? What do you notice here? Notice as much as you can, because when we go down onto our backs, we want to notice how it differences, what the differences are through the different perspective. Notice what you're looking at right now, or maybe your eyes are closed. Notice as much as you can how your knees feel, how your feet feel, how your arms feel, how your back feels, maybe your head. Notice as much as you can. And then on your next breath, bring your hands back towards your heart. Root down through that left foot a little bit more. Take your back foot, your right foot, and bring it forward and just allow it to hover. Just hover for a moment. Just finding that balance. And then bring the feet together, down. Take a big breath in, reach your both arms all the way up. And then exhale, forward fold. All the way down, touch your toes. Halfway lift, forward fold, bring yourself all the way back up, reach all the way back up, and then exhale, bring your arms down and standing in Tadasana. Take a moment here. Okay, then we're going to make our way all the way back down. So we'll do it nice and flowy. So inhale the arms all the way up, exhale. Fold all the way down towards the toes. Halfway lift. Exhale, place the hands down. We're gonna bring ourselves into a plank this time. And then bring the knees down and then the chest down, all the way down towards the ground. Inhale, cobra. And then exhale, we're gonna come back into a child's pose. Or your version of child's pose, whatever's working for you. Take a moment there. And then you're going to bring yourself up and come back and lie down on your back. So lie down on your back. Okay, and bring yourself back into that Tadasana on your back. So find Tadasana. Feet are flexed, toes are pointing up towards the ceiling. We're fully engaged here. Okay, so now we're going to do what we just did somewhat when we were standing up in Tadasana. So on the inhale, arms all the way up. Inhale, reach up. And then exhale, we're going to keep the arms here, but we're going to take your right leg and lift it up. So the knee is bent. So that's your front leg. Okay, you're reaching it as if there's something underneath that foot. Okay, and then you're going to turn your left foot about 45 degrees. So this is your warrior one on your back. What do you notice? So your right knee is bent. Your foot is flexed, and as if you're standing on something. Your left leg is straight, and it's at 45-degree turn, and as if you're standing on the ground on that foot. Can you make it so that they feel like you're balanced equally? It's a totally different perspective here. Notice what's going on with your breath. Notice if anything's fluctuating or shaking or moving. Okay, so now we're going to balance that leg that's, let me see. Let's balance the one that's in front. So your right leg, we're gonna bring it all the way down, stretch it out, and we're just gonna kind of balance it. Kind of don't bring it into Tadasana yet. Bring your hands all the way down towards your heart. Just hold yourself here as if you were balancing on that left foot. And just hold yourself here. Kind of going in the reverse, but that's okay. Hold it there. And then gently bring that right leg down and relax it. Whew. And bring the arms down. And take a moment here. What do you notice? Now just totally relax. So we're not in Tadasana anymore. Relax for a moment. Take a couple of breaths. And then bring yourself back into your Tadasana on your back. So your feet are flexed. Your arms are nice and strong here. Feeling yourself in this mountain pose. Hold it here. Then on your next breath, bring your arms all the way up above your head again. This time your left leg is coming up as if you're going into warrior one on this side. And then your right foot is turned at about 45 degrees. So feeling yourself in this pose. So it's the same sort of shape, but a totally different perspective. Notice what's going on with your breath. How do you feel in warrior one on this side, in this shape, on this part of your body, on the ground? What is your perspective here? How do you feel? What do you notice that comes out of this? Let's take another breath. Might notice different things. Maybe it's easier on this side now, maybe not. Okay, and then we're going to allow the left leg to hover. So you're gonna bring the left leg is gonna go straight, and it's kind of just about to hover right beside the right leg. You're gonna bring your hands towards your heart as if you were standing on that right leg and the left leg was hovering just beside that leg. So trying to see if we can find balance here. Let's take one more breath in. And one more breath out. Bring that left leg down. So now we're in Tadasana. Bring the arms down. Stay in Tadasana for a moment. And then relax. Relax, relax, relax. Just notice what came out of that. Lots of different perspectives here. Okay, so we're gonna roll over now onto one side and we're gonna just sit up with our legs extended into staff pose. So this pose, like this. This is our last one, by the way. So sitting up nice and tall with our legs extended, toes are pointed out, and our arms are just by our sides. Okay, so just be aware of the shape that you're creating here. Notice how you're feeling, notice what your breath is like. We're rooting down through our legs, the back of our legs, and through our seat, lifting up through our spine. Our core is engaged here. Lifting up through the neck, through the head, noticing the breath, noticing the tension and the construction, the contractions that are happening in the legs here. Notice as much as you can. Take a couple more breaths. And then we're going to lie down again, but we're going to be in this shape on our backs. So we're going to lie down, legs in the air. Okay, same shape. If you want to do this against the wall, go for it. Okay, so the arms are right down by your sides. Feet are up in the air, feet are flexed. See if you can grow a little taller through your upper body and even through your legs. Notice. What do you notice? It's the same shape. What do you notice? Different position, different, same shape, different pose, but it's the same pose. What do you notice? What's going on with your breath? I notice I feel a lot of shaking happening going on. Notice the contractions that are happening in your legs and in your core to hold your legs up like this. Don't lock the knees. The knees are just like when we were seated. The knees are still have a little bit of flexibility here. Let's take one more breath here. And then gently bring those knees in towards your chest, bending into the knees. Just allow them to flop. Kind of like that child's pose again. And then bring the legs down, bring those feet down. Take a moment here. And then we're going to open up the arms. And we're going to go into a twist. So you can just drop the knees down to one side, or you can bring the knees back up and drop them down. And come into a twist. Relax through your shoulders. Your head can go in any direction that feels right. Adjust so you're totally soft here. Both shoulders are on the ground. Take a few breaths here, allowing yourselves to settle. And then on your next breath, bring your legs back up to center. And then let them drop on the other side. Over towards the other side, making any adjustments that you need to make. Move your head in any direction that suits you. And just allow yourself to soften. Take a few breaths here. Allowing yourself just to let go. Not trying to be in control. Okay, and then on your next breath, bring your knees towards your chest again. And then lengthen the legs out and bring yourself into your Savasana. So I'm just going to guide you through a nice, gentle Savasana. So get yourself comfortably on your backs. And do a little check-in with your body. Check in with your breath. Just notice what comes up. And then bring attention towards your head, feeling your head become very, very heavy. And then see if you can lift up your head, even though it's feeling very, very heavy. See if you can just lift up your head just like a centimeter off the ground. And then lay it very, very gently back onto your mat, allowing it to melt into your mat. And then bring your awareness towards your shoulders, both shoulders, feeling them very, very heavy. And then see if you can lift up the shoulders ever so slightly, feeling the weight of the shoulders, and then allow them gently to release back down onto your mat, feeling as if they're melting deeper into the mat. And then bring your awareness towards your arms, feeling the heaviness in the arms. And then see if you can just gently lift them up just a little tiny bit, feeling the heaviness there. And then allow them to come right back down onto your mat, feeling as if they were melting a little deeper into the mat. And then bring your awareness towards your chest and your upper back. And then see if you can just pull your chest a little bit up, lifting up your upper back a little tiny bit up off the ground, and then allowing it to settle deeper, deeper, deeper into your mat. Feel as if it's melting. And then bring your awareness towards your stomach, your core area, and your lower back. And then very gently, see if you can just lift it up just a little tiny bit, giving a little bit more space. Feeling it very, very, very heavy, and then gently allow it to come right back down, becoming even heavier so it melts right into the mat. Bring your awareness into your hips, feeling your hips and your pelvis and your groin be very heavy. See if you can give a little bit more of action and lift up the hips just ever so slightly, even though it's feeling very, very heavy, and then gently bringing it back down, allowing it to melt a little bit deeper into the mat. Now bring awareness towards your legs. Maybe let's do one leg at a time. Let's do the right leg first, feeling the right leg become very heavy. And seeing if you can lift up that right leg ever so slightly. Maybe it's just a little movement. Feeling the heaviness of that leg and then allowing it to come right back down onto the mat very, very gently, and melt right down into your mat. Now bring your awareness to your left leg, feeling the heaviness in that left leg. And then see if you can ever so slightly lift up that left leg, even though it's feeling really heavy. And then gently place it back down, allowing the entire leg to totally relax right into the toes. Now bring your awareness into your whole body and squeeze every muscle, every single ligament, every single joint in your whole body, including your face. Squeeze it, and then totally release it. Feeling your entire body melt and relax into your mat. Peacefully allow your breath to deepen. Allow that to be the first thing that you feel happening to your body. And then very, very slowly begin to wiggle around fingers and toes, bringing yourself right back to life again. So when you're ready, giving yourself a nice, easy, gentle stretch, stretching out everything again. Moving over into a fetal position. And then joining me in a seat, sitting up nice and tall with your eyes closed, and bringing the awareness back towards your breath. Okay, paying attention towards your breath. Begin to breathe in for a count of 4 and out for a count of 4. Going at your own pace, in for a count of 4, out for a count of 4. And then whenever you're ready, inhale for a count of 4 and exhale for a count of 8. And again, if that doesn't work for you, then do what works for you. pretty much a double exhale. Inhale for a count of 4. Exhale for a count of 8. Nice and easy. And then when you're ready, we're going to pause between the inhale and exhale for a count of 4. So inhale for a count of 4, hold for a count of 4, and exhale for a count of 8. Or do whatever works for you, whatever count works for you. Try not to struggle. Nice and easy. Okay. And then either keeping it like that, or if you want to add one more, inhale for a count of 4, hold for a count of 4, exhale for a count of 8, hold that air out for a count of 4, and then again breathe in for a count of 4. I'll do that for a few more times, just doing what you can do. When you're finished your last round, bring your breathing back to a nice, easy breath. And take some time to reflect on your practice today. Noticing the shapes that you created, the different perspectives that you created. Noticing how, through those choices that you made, how things might have changed, how things were different, and how you responded to those differences. With your breath, with your thoughts, or any other way that you seem to notice. Let's bring our hands towards our hearts, bow our heads, and give ourselves some gratitude. Gratitude for the practice, gratitude for keeping an open mind, noticing what is whatever comes up, and feeling open to that open to that newness, for possibilities, for maybe some challenges, and being open to all the ways that you respond to those challenges and opportunities and differences. And gratitude for yourself for being here, for participating in your practice today. Let's finish this practice with one Om together. Take a breath in through the nose. Sigh it out. Breathe in for one Om. Om. Namaste.